So this session is basically just going to be about the fact that apart from whatever you're studying, how or what are the things that you can do while you are here, making the best use of these 3 years so as to grow in your career in many phases. You are studying, yes, you're getting the bookish knowledge, the theoretical knowledge, but even apart from that, in order to succeed in the workspace, there are a lot of things that you need to know. Okay? So sir is here to basically give you a little guidance on your career philosophy, which is different and unique for each and every one of you. So, a research scholar pursuing his PhD in the area of software and systems engineering, his research focuses on understanding the challenges that new hirees face at product companies while comprehending large, complex systems. He believes that a systematic approach to software engineering is the key to addressing this challenge and upskill the freshers appropriately. He is currently working at Zenoti and is on a sabbatical to pursue his PhD. At Zenoti, he created the FinTech business unit with a charter of driving payments and FinTech businesses worldwide. An alumnus of IIT Delhi and University of Washington, Michael G. Foster School of Business, he has worn many hats. Over the last 20 years, he has experienced multiple R&D roles in small startups and large multinationals across multiple geographies like China, US, and India, and domains like payments, e-learning, and EdTech. So without further ado, please put your hands together to welcome the one and only Mr. Mrityunjay Kumar, everybody. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks for a glowing introduction. I didn't realize it sounds so nice when somebody says it. I definitely am not worthy of all the nice things that were said, because if you have a very long career like I have, almost 30 years now, you end up doing lots of things. And towards the end of at least my aiming with IT, I realized that when I start connecting them all together, it sounds nice, and when you was reading it, it sounded very nice. So thanks for that. And I had deliberately asked that no faculty member is here, so hopefully nobody is here. I can't see anybody, so which is good. So my name is Mrityunjay, and over next 1.5 hours or 8 hours, whatever you wish, what we are going to do is talk about multiple things around career. And again, just to be clear, as it might have been clear in the description, I will clarify, I am not a practitioner of career coaching, and career is a word that many of you have been exposed to, because when you get into a college, you meet career counselors. When you start exiting the college after 3 years, 4 years, you again meet career counselors, and they talk about various kinds of things, which in my mind are very tactical, very important, but very tactical. Ki, acha, agle saal kya karna hai? Right? When do I do this? Very, very tactical. What my experience has been, and even though my experience has been in IT and technology and product companies, what I realized is that this is very transferable to any other area that you can talk about. And what I figured out is that while that is useful when you are a student and probably next step kya lena hai, that is important, I think from a career game, maybe is a 50-year, 60-year game, and especially with, I don't know how much of you are following the anti-aging research, and people are talking that in next 10 to 15 years, definitely in your lifetime, we will reach a point where you may choose whether you want to live forever or fine, you can die like regular human being. So career may become forever kind of a game, but right now it is a 50 to 60-year game, let's assume that. So those things can't be done well if you keep thinking about ki kal kya karna hai. And that I saw in like my 10-15 years when I was managing lots of people across the globe. In China for 2 years, I was managing teams there. Similar kind of challenges. People were so focused on ki kal kya karna hai, they were not really thinking about, okay, next 20 years mein, what will happen? How will I approach my career? And so therefore over last, I would say 10 years, while I'm doing a bunch of other random stuff also, one of my focus has been, how do I make sure that I can tell people, hopefully early in their career, for example in your case, that there are enough other things that you need to do to prepare yourself for that 50-year game. it's not only about, okay, I am on a track, for example, right now all of you are on a track that Inspiria has provided you. Okay, there are 8 trains running. You have gotten on one of the trains. Once in a while you jump on something on the train and do a few courses, but largely you are running on a train. 3 साल के बाद that train will sort of get you somewhere, एक platform पे कोई station पे कोई platform है, they will get you down there, right? Because they have designed their program that way. Now, at that point, most likely, whichever discipline you have taken, there are 5 lakh other people in India who have gotten on similar platforms. What's going on with them? All of you are same. Where does the career go? Right? That is a big problem. And one of the things that I want to sort of leave you with today after 1 year, 1 hour, 1.5 hours is all of you individually are unique pieces. And therefore, nobody outside can really figure out and do your career for you. You have to do your career, but then career is a 50-year game, 60-year game. So you cannot play that game. It's like running marathon. You cannot run a marathon by saying कि सबसे जल्दी मैं सबसे पहले निकल जाऊंगा, दौड़ने लगूंगा और पहुंच जाऊंगा. It doesn't happen. Anybody who is a runner here would know that running doesn't happen that way. Running requires lots of planning. Marathon requires a huge amount of planning. Right? You pace yourself. You figure out ऐसे करना है वैसे all over. Career is exactly the same. Unfortunately, people do not think about these aspects of career. They only think about career means job. In fact, same thing is true when you go join a company. When I talk to people, I talk to lots of people. I came back to India and started doing career counseling and coaching full-time for software professionals, and I could see that people only think of career when they don't have a job and they want a job. Or they have a job and they want a better job. Better means better salary, nothing else. It's like medicine, right? People want to look at career as, okay, I'm feeling feverish, let me go to the doctor, he will give me a medicine, वो चला जाएगा. To myself, to people around me who are sort of my well-wishers, it could be your professors, it could be your family members, it could be mentors. So what kind of questions should I ask them so that they can help me better? So you will know questions to ask. You may not know the answer for yourself because, as I said, that answer is unique. If somebody out there says, and lots of people are out there who will tell you कि यार you are studying this, तुम ना ये बनोगे, ये करना. Please, you are all adults. Do not listen to that. That is just data point. It is their thought process and some data that they are handing over to you and saying, मेरे हिसाब से ये है. Fine, 10 लोग हैं, 10 people will say 10 things. Take all those, लेने में there is no harm. But take it as data and say, 10 people are thinking in this way, what do I think? Because you know the most about yourself. Unfortunately though, we don't think about ourselves. So therefore we don't know about ourselves. We can know the most about ourselves, nobody else can know, but we don't spend that time. So again, hopefully I will talk through some of these things and you will start, at least some of you, maybe 20% of you, because that's another, I've done lots of these sessions in lots of colleges, companies, and therefore my sort of expectation keeps going down. Because I go to the session, लोग होंगे, कुछ लोग बोलेंगे, I don't know what this thing was, they never told me which job to take. Or they will say, this is some random stuff that I don't even understand, what word are they using? And ultimately, probably 5 to 10% of the people will even think about it again. So my expectation from this group also is not very high. It's just that now I have learned enough to know that I will not keep my expectation high, but my hope will be high. So nobody does anything, I will still be fine. I may still come back and give you another Gyan session like that. But the only thing I can guarantee is, if you do some of these things, which is asking those questions, nothing else, asking those questions to yourself and trying to get the answer, it will help you long term. You cannot show up tomorrow, and that's one reason why people don't do this. It's like health, right? Walking every day is good, but you don't see change every day because you walked. So people say, छोड़ो यार, उससे अच्छा है आज मैं जाके कुछ और कर लूँगा, it shows up. I'll buy a cap, it shows up. Everybody knows how cool I am. And people are so into those kind of things. So these will be those kind of things. So therefore you have to believe. And if you believe, maybe 5% of you believe and do something, I'll be very happy. 10%ers extremely happy because my percentages have never been more than 10-15%. But with that caveat, I do hope that more and more of you at least try to think about some of those things and ask the question. So let me get started. This was a long preamble. And the other thing is, I can run through this very quickly. So I can finish it in like half an hour. I put it 1 hour plus maybe 30 minutes of questions. But I run very quickly. So only way we can do it 1 hour is when you are engaged. You are not sleepy. I know it is early morning, so you must not have slept more than 4 hours. So please ask questions. One reason why I have asked, nobody should be, no other adult should be here other than me and you guys, is that I want you to ask really what is on your mind. And sometimes what is on your mind you will not want to tell the faculty or somebody who is in front of you all the time. See, I'm here for a couple of days, then I'll go away, right? You may only find me on LinkedIn, nowhere else, right? So hopefully that makes you open up more, right? Because I have no vested interest in कि आप क्या पढ़ रहे हो, कैसे पढ़ रहे हो, क्या कर रहे हो. I am here, I'm giving a session, I can walk away, right? But if you ask the question, some of these things will make more sense to you and to others who didn't ask the question. Because some of these, as you will see, are extremely vague. As I was telling somebody, what I'm going to talk about is philosophy of career. It's not about career. It's philosophy. And philosophy in general, nobody studies philosophy. Has nobody studied anything which is remotely philosophical? Any book? Any course? I guess not. So either people are too tired and sleepy to raise their hand or they haven't. So it will be philosophical. So therefore it may sound vague, it may sound weird. Right? But if you ask question, it will become real. Right? So try to ask question. Sometimes I will sort of prompt you to ask questions, so please ask and respond. And then this session will be engaging. Otherwise, as I said, I'll finish it off, I'll walk away. You will also feel happy, I can finish off and go do whatever I wanted to do, whatever I was doing. Right? Okay, so anyway, lots of things were talked about me. So this is my way of saying more things about me, but then I also want you to think. I don't know how many of you have LinkedIn profile? Oh, nice. How come everybody has LinkedIn profile? Is it like mandatory in the college for everybody? Okay. How many of you wanted to have a LinkedIn profile? Okay, so you see value in having a LinkedIn profile, right? So if you see LinkedIn profile, people write, there is a subtitle under that. So different people pick different things. Many people will pick their job title. Many will say student at something, right? In a way, what they are saying is, this is who I am, right? So think from that perspective, who you are. See, essentially career questions are coming from there. Who am I? And that's a very philosophical question. If you have, again, mythological, anything that you have read, who am I is the most fundamental question that people can ask. And people have asked this question and went to Himalayas, and we are close by. You can go very quickly. People have gone to very far in Himalayas and stayed there to figure out the answer, right? So it's a very fundamental question, but for career also it's a very fundamental question. So for example, if I ask that question to myself, should I associate myself with, अच्छा मैंने DPS से पढ़ा था तो कैसा है मैं DPS का? I graduated from IIT Delhi, so I should be IIT Delhi. Lots of IIT people are saying IIT Hyderabad, or I don't know what it is, like Country Delight or some. It says it's a milk brand. Of all things, it's a milk brand. It says IIT IIM initiative. What the hell IIT and IIM has to do with a milk brand? Nothing. People associate themselves with that, right? Yeah, that's how they see, right? I studied MBA somewhere from US. Okay, fine. Okay, should I see this way, right? Or I was working in Microsoft. Should I say, oh, I am the guy who has worked in Microsoft. I am that person, right? Should I say that? Should I not say that? Right? Then there was a time I came back from US and said, okay, bahut ho gaya, I don't want to do this IT business. I will do career coaching, teaching and all those things. So I joined this is one of the startups that we were doing, which was like sort of online business school and trying to teach to working professionals. So I was like a pioneer in that space much before online stuff started happening. I was writing a whole lot. Of course, I was doing my own career coaching. Is that how I should associate myself? Is that who I am? I don't know. Maybe I am. Now, for example, as he was mentioning, I work in Zenoti. I'm in sabbatical for the last 1.5 years. So in a way, I mean, that's a glorified way of saying I'm an unemployed guy. who doesn't know what to do, so went ahead and started studying, right? So, is that who I am? In fact, my parents, my mom still feels, what should I tell people? Because she would want to say that I am VP and GM payments at Zenoti, which is a unicorn and blah, blah, blah. And I tell her, please don't say that, I'm not doing it. Paper pe kahin pe mera naam hai in that company. I have been long enough that they say, fine, you are on sabbatical and somewhere my name is there. But for all practical purposes, I'm not working. It's not fair to say that. But she's like, then how do I tell you a student? Right? People will not even first of all believe, and after that say, ye pagal ho gaya, kuch ho gaya, something is wrong. Right? So who am I? The important thing is, actually I am none of these. I have to define who am I, and it may change. And it does change for me. So for all of you also, it's very easy for you to say, I am a student at this college pursuing this. That's not who you are. It is like reducing yourself to a very, 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 very small piece of you. And when we start doing that on and on, that is when problem happens, because in career also then we start reducing ourselves to, I am the guy who has done this course in hotel management and therefore I will go and join a hotel. We reduce ourselves. Whereas it's entirely possible that if you were thinking about yourself in other ways, which I will talk about, you could have said, okay, I have done hotel management, but I am good at photography and I love writing, so therefore I will go and become a food blogger who is an international traveler. Similar skills, but a very different outcome. Because you didn't hear your Sharmaji and Varmajis around you who said कि भैया जब होटल मैनेजमेंट करके जाते हो तो 5-star होटल में जॉब करना चाहिए. Right? That is what I am asking everybody to do. That you think about yourself, you do not box yourself. All the things I was saying, these are boxes. Do not box yourself. Boxing is the first major thing that happens which kills your career. So please get out of that box. And I can tell you it's very hard to get out of the box. Because everybody around you, your college will tell you कि भाई तुम एक बॉक्स में हो, तुम ना होटल मैनेजमेंट में BBA कोर्स नहीं कर सकते. Even though you may want to be a businessman and तुम ये करो. So people will box you. Your parents will box you. Your friends will box you. Everybody will box you. You have to say, नहीं मुझे box नहीं होना. I am much bigger than whatever box is around me. I own the boxes. Boxes don't own me. Is the thing. Again, easier said than done. Right? But that's important way to look at it. Okay, so I thought I'll wake some people up. Hopefully they will wake up. So I want one word from many of you which defines career for you. See, career is a word which means lots of things to lots of people. Right? For some it may be money, some it may be jobs, lots of things. So I want to hear, the board went away, but I'll just hear. So tell me one word that for you, and again these are very unique, different people, right? There's no right or wrong answer. But one word that is career for you. What is career for you? Yes, please. One word. Dream. Fulfill your dream, right? Okay, so dream. So career is dream. I mean, realizing that dream. Okay, yes. Be loud, I'm an old man, so I need future. Okay, so career is future, yes. Motivation. Okay, great, yes. Appreciation. Okay. Success, yes. Force. Driving force. Direction. Passion. Balance. Establishment. Establishment of what? Okay, establishment. Okay, good. Life, yes. Money, yes, obvious. Oh, see, money should be there, right? People are not. Progress. Stability, yes, establishment. Yeah. So, and again, don't feel, okay, I have to say these nice things because I'm asking this. Please say what comes to your mind. So, I'm surprised money came so late. Hey, if I literally really ask you, most of people will have money first. यार अच्छा salary होना चाहिए, बंगले, कार, ये सब वगैरह. Okay. Yes. Loud. Survival. Okay, survival. Happiness. Happiness. Okay, so, yes, please. Need. Okay. Okay, so, assuming that everybody was speaking what was in their heart and not just to be politically correct, you heard lots and lots of different things. Right? And none of them are wrong. Right? Important thing is to keep in mind that different people will think of their career or in general career in very different ways. What happens is people around you will tell you, क्या बकवास कर रहे हो? How can career be stability? तुम्हें तो grow करना चाहिए, ये होना चाहिए, वो होना चाहिए. Or how can career be money? Career is much more than money. Happiness से घर नहीं चलता है. All kinds of things will come along. What I am here to tell you is all the things that you said, assuming that you believe, or whatever other word that you believe in which you didn't say, or others who didn't speak up, hopefully you have a word for you which captures career for you. One word, no phrase, one word, take a keyword. Right? Please hold on to it. And it's entirely possible that right now that word is X. 5 years later it may become Y. Perfectly fine. I can tell you when I started meaning when I went to college from a small town, I went to Delhi and everybody told me, Dachana, IAS banna chahiye. That was the time, I graduated a long time back. You are not born, of course. So, IAS banna chahiye, IAS is a big deal, fine, okay, you must be right, fine. I started studying. After a while I realized कि यार ये मेरे वश की बात नहीं है, मेरे से नहीं होगा. Right, so then I said, okay, fine, what else? Then I started studying whatever I was supposed to study. I studied that for a while. Then after a while I said, okay, I want to be CEO of my own company because that was the time startup boom was getting on in India, IT was coming in. I worked for a while saying, okay, I will pick all these skills and become CEO of my own company, I'll start up my own stuff. I did my startup and then I said, yeah, this is too much of work. I wanted to do something because of which I did startup, but all my time is going in building the startup. I don't like the idea of building the startup. I want a startup where I can do what I wanted to do. Right. So then that changed. For me, career at that point changed to be, okay, can I make a difference in whichever company, my company, somebody else's company, in a certain way which I wanted to do. So it may change. It's perfectly fine to change. In fact, it should change because you change. Right? You will know more. You will have more experiences. So you will change. So it has to change. But at any point in time, you need to have that one word that you have. Somebody said survival. Right? It's a very fair point. Right now, if you are in a state, and I have talked to lots of people, career aspirants, who really need to get a job to support people around them, or to support themselves. They need some money. Right now, they are not getting it. 1 year later, they will get money. So, career equals survival at this point in time. Very fair thing. 4 years later, it may change to something else. Right? You go a few more years, maybe it changes to stability. Few more years, it goes into success. Few more years, it goes into happiness. All are perfectly fine. The problem is society and people around you will tell you all kinds of things to change to. Please do not listen. I mean, listen to them, that's data. But figure out what you want to do. And the starting point is hold on to your word. That word that you have is a very important thing, right? Different people. I'm from Hyderabad. I'm working in Hyderabad. And when I do session in Hyderabad, going to US is a big deal. I go to colleges and they're like, sir, you US जाना है. So उनके लिए career is US. Fine. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is, hold on to it. And then whatever you do, of course, should be aligned to what it is, right? That is the really goal. Because the goal is you will define what that word is. Hold on to it. Nobody else will define. Nobody else will, of course they'll try, but nobody else will get the right or permission to do this, make the decision, because this is the single most important decision in your life. Okay, what is career for you? So hold on to that. And then of course other things come, things to keep in mind, and why I'm saying, okay, it is you. Because when you look at it, it is a long game. It is a 50-year game, as I said. And whenever something is a 50-year game, so long, nobody knows what is going to happen. I don't know how many of you know ChatGPT exists. Right? 3 years later, earlier, 4 years ago, nobody had any clue. All the software engineers of the world, and some of you maybe are BCA here, so it applies to them also. 4 years ago, all these software engineers thought, अरे यार मैं तो कुछ काम करना नहीं होता, join an IT company, they'll pay me lots of money, और 2-4 घंटे काम करूँगा, बाकी मैं squash खेलूँगा, ये करूँगा, वो करूँगा, because my job is set. Now we have reached a point where lots of people, including people like me who is in academia, coming from industry, now working in academia, is saying that at least that level of people will lose their job. ChatGPT is becoming smart enough that वो जो छोटे-छोटे काम लोग करते थे, एक वेबसाइट बना दिया, TCS के लिए they fixed a bug and customer support कर दिया, ये they will go away. Nobody thought. So if it's a 50-year game, lots and lots of people have absolutely no clue कि ये आने वाला है and what do I do about it? So nobody knows those things, so you cannot plan for those things. Right? Therefore, there are other things that you will plan for. There are things that you can plan for, right? That is what you should focus on. That should be your philosophy, right? So I'm giving you sort of areas in which your philosophy should evolve, and you should pick from here what it is. Right? So focus on you. Know yourself. I can tell you this exercise I have done with so many people, and you should do that exercise with yourself. If somebody tells you, okay, tell me your strengths, we don't have good answers. Sometimes we don't have good answers because we feel यार अपने मुंह अपनी बड़ाई नहीं करनी चाहिए. Right? Sometimes we don't have answers because for you something could be a strength or something could not be a strength, you don't know. But most of the time I have found you don't have answer because you never ask this question to yourself. You don't ask these kind of questions. In our school, nobody teaches us to ask questions to yourself. School mein, all of you have, if you have studied in India or even आस-पास के countries, all these Indian subcontinent people, schools have this problem that there is a notion of everything has a right answer. My daughter in Hyderabad goes into one of the best, supposedly best schools. वहाँ पे भी all they do is ये question है, here are the notes, here are the answers to this. Don't write your own answer. I am giving you answer, this is the answer. Exam आएगा, इसमें ये लिखना है. So if you create people till class 11, 12 of this kind, they never ask questions, right? They never needed to ask questions, right? And even when question is asked, answer is already given. Some teacher has given you, remember, kar loge. So we don't get, this kind of skill is not there. And if you don't have those kind of skills, of course you can't ask, and these are hard questions. These are not even easy questions. This is not like, okay, sun east में आता है कि west में आता है, it's a factual question. This is not that, right? What is your strength? How do you know? What is your weakness? How do you know? But you need to know. Know yourself and your authentic self. And why I'm saying authentic? Because again, we get cheated by lots of people in the world, right? आप कहीं जाते हो, ऑटो वाला 25 रुपए के बजाय takes 50 rupees, you get cheated. You go to दुकान वाला, बड़े-बड़े मॉल में जाते हैं, we buy something for 600 rupees, सड़क पे 200 में मिल रहा होगा. Right? We get cheated all over. But the biggest way that we get cheated is by ourselves. We tell ourselves all kind of nice stories. अरे मैं ना बहुत पढ़ाई कर रहा हूँ. जबकि आप पढ़ाई नहीं कर रहे होगे, वो फोन लेके बैठे हो कर रहे हो, 2 घंटे चले गए उसमें. But we tell ourselves and stay happy. Parents आके पूछा, हाँ कर रहा हूँ, सब चल रहा है, लेकिन नहीं चल रहा है. So we cheat ourselves. The reason why you can't answer those things, and that's why you have to get to your authentic self first. First you have to get away from the layer of, okay, I'm cheating myself, I'm telling myself I'm doing right. Some of these, again, some of you may be sitting in this room, I'll do another session after 1.5 hours after this, right, for a smaller group of people. So I asked them a question about, okay, what is that one thing that you can change in yourself to make better use of whatever is here? It's lots of people said ki, acha, I waste my time in phone. At least I was happy to see that people are acknowledging the problem. But lots of people said that. We do not acknowledge it. We acknowledge it, it was great, it is very appreciable. We don't acknowledge it. We somehow say, हाँ चल रहा है, काम चल रहा है. मेरा marks आया, I got 70% marks. You could have got a 90 if you had spent more time, but no, ठीक है यार, paper difficult था, 70 is a good marks for me. You are cheating yourself. And the more such things you do, you are building a layer on top of yourself, through which these kind of questions will not go. मैं पूछूंगा strength क्या है, it will go to your unauthentic self. वो लेयर के पास, वो लेयर कुछ बड़े अच्छा आंसर बता देगा. आपने कहीं गूगल किया होगा, कुछ पढ़ा होगा, दैट में कहीं होगा, ओके माई स्ट्रेंथ इज, ओके आई हैव अ ग्रेट डिसीजन मेकिंग कैपेबिलिटी, आई हैव अ ग्रेट कम्युनिकेशन स्किल एंड आई वर्क वेरी वेल विथ पीपल. ना हो सकता है कि इसमें से एक भी चीज आपके लिए एप्लीकेबल ना हो इफ यू रियली आस्क योर ऑथेंटिक सेल्फ. बट अनऑथेंटिक सेल्फ जो है, दैट गाय आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन बिकॉज दैट गाय नो, जैसे यही चीज सबको सुननी होती है तो मैं ये बोलूंगा. अच्छा, आपके वीकनेस क्या? आई हैव दिस क्वेश्चन इन इंटरव्यूज, व्हेन आई डू इंटरव्यूज फॉर एनी लेवल आई इंटरव्यू, आई आस्क देम द क्वेश्चन, ओके व्हाट आर योर वीकनेसेस? राइट? People who are not authentic, which most people are, their answers will typically be around, they'll take a strength, wrap it around and say it's a weakness. My weakness is that I work too hard. Okay, sure, right. Or other flavor is, my weakness is I'm a perfectionist. Okay, yes, it is weakness. In some cases it is weakness, but not in the way that you are saying, right? So, because they are not able to come to terms with the fact that if they share their weakness with me, it's okay. They feel, जैसे ही मैं बताऊंगा ये वीकनेस मेरा क्या है, बनना पड़ेगा, चलो इंटरव्यू से बाहर आ जाओ बिकॉज तुम्हारे अंदर वीकनेस है. बट दैट इज यू नॉट हैविंग फेथ इन योर सेल्फ. सो गेटिंग टू ऑथेंटिक सेल्फ इज हार्ड बट नीड्स टू बी डन. Because if you don't do it, see, if you are cheating yourself, which I am telling you again openly, 80% of you, more than that, will be cheating yourself. So please ask that question to yourself. Where is my authentic self? Because if it is not there, in that 50 years, you will get caught. You may think you are very smart, कि मैं ना मैनेजर को भी बहला दूंगा, कुछ बोल दूंगा, कर दूंगा. होता नहीं है. वो मैनेजर भी इसी सिस्टम से आया है. That guy also knows, right? And they will figure it out. And when they figure it out, it is worse for you. Then, if you could have told the manager, you know what, I have studied this course, BCA पढ़ लिया मैंने यहाँ पे, and मुझे कुछ नहीं आता है प्रोग्रामिंग. That is your authentic. If you say that, that is still better than coming in and saying, and I have met lots of such people, unfortunately in my company also, कि okay, they don't know anything, but you ask them, हाँ ये सब बढ़िया है, आता है, so then you give the job, they can't do it, but they don't acknowledge that मैं नहीं कर सकता हूँ. वो सुना भी तो बोलो, no, they not say it, because that unauthentic self has wrapped them so much, they don't know how to get out of it, because they have done it so many times, so much. That's why right now college is a safe place in that sense, because आप यहाँ सीखने आए, everybody is here to learn. Learning means there is something that is not there which you are acquiring. So it's a safe zone in that sense. It's okay to say नहीं आता मुझे. Right? So please get to your authentic self, and only you can do it. Nobody else can do it. Again, you are adult, I am adult, your instructor is an adult. They can't poke you and say कि यार तुम्हारा authentic self कौन सा है? They don't have that much time. राइट? 1500 स्टूडेंट्स हैं, किसी के पास इतना टाइम नहीं है कि ये कोक करके निकाले उसका ऑथेंटिक सेल्फ. सो पीपल हैव टू डू देमसेल्व्स, राइट? सो यू हैव टू डिफाइन योरसेल्फ, राइट? हु यू आर, व्हाट आर द थिंग्स, एंड आई कम टू ओके व्हाट डज इट मीन. द अदर एस्पेक्ट, somebody said career is success, right? It's very important to say what is success. We transfer career to success, but then what is success? So what is success? Okay, so as you can see, again, success can mean different things to different people. And it is, again, it is very, very important. Just like that word, career equals X, you have to hold on for yourself. This is another one you have to hold for yourself. What does success mean to you? Because success is what everybody goes by. Right? You are successful है. Right? But different people have different meaning. शर्मा जी का मतलब है कि आपका दिख रहा है एक बिल्डिंग है, आपके घर के आगे 4 कार है. इट्स विजिबल इंडिकेटर्स जो हैं, दे बिकम सक्सेस फॉर देम. बट फॉर यू, दीज आर ऑल फॉर यू. इट मे बी समथिंग एल्स, इट मे बी समथिंग दैट ओनली यू कैन सी. So whatever it is, hold on to it, because that is another very important word which can create pressure for you because you may think कि मुझे ये करना है, for example, excellence चाहिए मुझे, that is excellent, that is success for me, but then somebody else will say तुम पैसा तो कमा नहीं रहे हो, you are not successful. So you have to be able to push that back, and the only way you can push back is when this definition is your definition and not because somebody like me walked in and said somehow कि अरे ये definition बड़ा अच्छा वाला है, वो huge bank balance जो है वो अच्छा वाला नहीं है. You shouldn't go by that. See, that's another problem that happens in our society, right? We choose algorithmically. Everybody understands algorithm as a word, right? BCA understands, but hopefully everybody else understands it. So algorithmically, we define what will I do. कॉलेज में पढ़ा, कॉमर्स पढ़ा तो ये पढ़ेंगे, साइंस पढ़ा तो ये पढ़ेंगे, अच्छे मार्क्स आए तो ये करेंगे, खराब मार्क्स आए तो ये करेंगे, right? तो वो होता रहता है. And when you reach college, college is one place where it will start diverging. There these algorithms don't work, but the problem is we get so used to algorithms that we start looking for algorithms. If you go Google, you will find lots of these sites which will say कि okay, answer these 10 questions and I will tell you कि तुम्हें क्या पढ़ना चाहिए. या answer this and I'll tell you okay, क्या job करना चाहिए. अरे उसको क्या पता क्या job करना चाहिए. Right? You should know what job you should be doing. Right? You have to make that call. Right? But we get used to the algorithmic way of doing it. Right? But this is a very non-algorithmic way, your way, and therefore it is important that you define in your own way. And it is your definition, then you will push back. यार मेरा definition excellence है. आप बोलो ठीक है यार पैसा वैसा ये चीज़ है, fine, I am surviving somehow, but I am happy. Right? Somebody said success is happiness. Right? So I'm happy. Maybe that is what I want. Success, excellence is what I want. Right? So very, very important that this is your definition. What success means to you, not what success means. Well, success means lots of different things. Right? So when you talked about it, so when you have defined your career word, yeah, this is career is dream for me, for example. So you have some dream and fulfilling that dream becomes what your career is. Right? Then you define success. Let's say you define success as peak excellence. Right? Somebody said, I love that definition. Peak excellence. Given those two things, you should be able to define, with some help of course. Okay, so how do you get there? Right? And also of course you have to define कितना समय लगेगा. Right? Because many of these can be never-ending pursuits. Right? Excellence is a never-ending pursuit. There is always something more you can do in your own area. Because you have to be worldwide excellent. Like अब तो Mars से comparison होगा, right? Globally and galaxy-wise. So there is no end to being excellent if excellence is your definition. Similarly, there is no end to making money. And you keep making money, keep making money, keep making money, and then you keep doing. So you will define, okay, this is the direction I'll pursue. And if you had done it before college, for example, that would have defined for you, ki maina, this is my, I want to do some excellence, excellence is my definition of success. I have this dream of going to Mars. Right? So then you will say, acha, uske liye, the path that I can take is, let me go and study, I don't know, some aeronautics, engineering. Right? Then you will go figure out कि यार उसको पढ़ने के लिए मैं क्या करना होगा, कहाँ एग्जाम देना होगा, क्या करना. Then it becomes immediate plans and all those things. वो गोल अभी भी हो सकता है, it may take you like 15 years, 10 years before you can reach that. But that gives you the sort of a path. And again, many of these things, they will change. You take a path, you take this whatever course you took, 4 साल पढ़ने के बाद लगा नहीं यार ये ना वो ड्रीम मेरा चेंज हो गया. Now, of course, you shouldn't change every year because then doesn't help too much. But it's okay to change because now you know more. Now you saw something else which was more interesting or whatever it is. If it changes, then where you are is the point from where you chart another path. Again, you do the same exercise. Okay, career is X for me. Has it changed? Yeah, it has changed. It has become Y. Okay, fine. What is success? Has success changed? Maybe success has also changed for you. You define that. And then given these two, you figure out, okay, this point say, this is the point where it becomes important that you have taken a path, आपने aeronautics पढ़ना शुरू कर दिया, and now you changed it. People will come to you and say, यार, क्या कर रहे हो तुम? Aeronautics पढ़ना था, जा रहा है, now suddenly you are saying I want to study graphics. What the hell is going on? Right? But if you have made those decisions yourself, it's much better likelihood that you will be able to convince people कि यार ये ना मैं करना चाहता हूँ. If you haven't made those decisions, you heard me coming in and saying something and you somehow figure out, अरे राजू बड़ा अच्छा है, सब लोग कर रहे हैं, या चैट जीपीटी बड़ा अच्छा है, I will go study चैट जीपीटी, prompt engineering में MBA करूँगा. Some random stuff. Please don't do that. But then if somebody pushes you that तुम पहले ये बोलो तो ये करो, you will have no answer. That's why it is important that these are all your answers and you are adult now. If you do not have skills to answer these questions, that is your problem, and I'll come there. That's why this session exists. But you need to acknowledge and own these problems. Only then you will do something about it. What you can do is what we will talk about. But please make sure that you understand the notion that is almost like two-dimensional picture है. एक करियर एक तरफ है, करियर का डेफिनेशन एक्स वाई जो भी है, एंड सक्सेस का डेफिनेशन. यूजिंग दैट यू आर सॉर्ट ऑफ चार्टिंग अ पाथ एंड यू जस्ट नीड टू नो व्हाट किस तरफ जाना है. मतलब डायरेक्शनल, इट इज नॉट एग्जैक्टली ये करना है, जावा सीखना है, फिर यहाँ जाकर एमबीए करना है. फर्स्ट स्टेप क्या लेना है, किस तरफ जाना है, इज व्हाट यू विल डिफाइन, राइट. बट अगेन दैट इज योर डेफिनेशन, राइट. देन द अदर एस्पेक्ट, somebody said career equals life. Right. I love that definition because as soon as you go into industry, you will realize that industry sucks the life out of you. Of course, I'm saying 30 years working in the industry, so in a way, it's hypocritical of me to say that because you have not even started. So I'll let you make your own judgment about it. But typically, organizations want to get everything from you because they want to make money, and whatever time you give them, they can convert it into money. If you are any good. If you are not good, then there is a bigger problem to solve. And but assuming you are decently good, they want. So they will suck everything. So work, life, everything gets messed up. So it's very important to know, even when your career equals life is not your definition of career, you still need to think of life. Because career and life will go along. जिसके लिए career equals life, they might have an easier or a harder whichever way, but at least because they have started thinking about it. If career is my life, then what does it mean for me to live? Right? But for others also, they have to figure out what is important for me. Right? So for example, I'm working in the software industry. It's very easy for me to just spend all my 24 hours in that company because my time is very precious for them. But then I will be taking time away from my life. Right? I have two daughters. One is just now in college, another one is in grade 9. I have to spend time with them. Right? I'm taking that time away. Should I take that time? Now, that is a question at my level. At your level, of course, you don't have that kind of a thing. You might have your parents. You might have your girlfriend or boyfriend. Whosoever. You may have friends. Whatever. There is life outside what we call as career. Like, how do you want to live that? And of course, how do I want to live career is an important question to ask. And the earlier you will ask that question, because sometimes this may feel, अभी कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं, अभी let me get a job and chill. What I am here to tell you is, you are already too late. Because 50 साल के रन के लिए your preparation better start in like 10th, 11th. Then you will do a good job at it. Right? So therefore, wherever you are, second year, third year, you have to start now thinking about some of those things. What is important for you? Here the question will be, what is important for you? What is not so important for you at this stage? And again, answers will change. Right? The other thing, this is another thing that we do not do. This is a very simple thing. We don't do that. LinkedIn pay, all of you are on LinkedIn. How many connections do you have? Who has more than 2,000 connections? Okay. Who has more than 1,000 connections? Okay. 1,000 connections, 2 people. So who are these 1,000 people? How many of them are this group? How many of them are, what are the groups that you have? Somehow you got 1,000 connections? Mostly from college and data science group. Okay, so one group of people. Okay, somebody else had 1,000. Yes. Who are these people? Same college, some one group only, not other kinds of group. How many of you have more than 500? Few of them. Okay, again, all colleges, all college friends. Okay, so which is not very interesting. Right? You will learn certain things from this group, not too much. They are also learning with you, they are probably on the same train, and same train के लोगों के साथ बहुत ज़्यादा interesting नहीं है, थोड़ा बहुत, but not too much. Right? You need to know other people. Right? For example, how many of you have connected with, okay, before that, how many of the professors here have LinkedIn profile? Everyone. Okay, how many of you are connected to all of them? Everybody? Is it mandatory? It's not mandatory. Some of you are connected. Right. So who are the people who are not connected? Just few people. Must be many. Okay. So why are you not connected? You don't know. You must have this. Are you connected with anybody? Okay. So you are connected. Is there anybody who is not connected to any of the professors? Please be honest. Yes. Yeah, there's no harm. Yeah. So why? You didn't feel like, because you probably felt that कोई फायदा नहीं है, there's nothing, what was the deal? They may see whatever I'm posting and then they may start asking me some questions which are not good, right? But important thing is, we are at a stage where अभी से लेकर के at least next 10 years, 12 years, most of your time should go into learning. उसके बाद you should think about कि मैं कितना पैसा जो somebody said huge amount of money, but huge amount of money comes after. It's like stock. Unless you put value into that stock, उसको बेचने का कोई फायदा नहीं है. So you have to first build that stock. The way you to build a stock in career is how much knowledge, how much learning, how much experience can you stuff into that. And that is this 10-12 years, because unfortunately everybody ages. And as you age, the opportunities will go down, your ability to learn frankly will go down. The amount that you can learn now is much more than what you can learn 10 years from now. Right? So you have to maximize what you are learning, and the best way of learning is to learn from others rather than, okay, मैं भी ये करके देखूंगा, फिर okay, Instagram पे तो रहना चाहिए, नहीं रहना, हम नहीं फिर Instagram. Okay, so how much time do you spend on Instagram as a ratio of LinkedIn time? Twice, 5 times, 10 times? How much? 3 times? 4 times? That's way more time. But, and time is finite, right? But same time, I'm not saying LinkedIn will actually give you great learning experience, but it probably will be marginally better than what you spend on Instagram. I'm not saying don't spend time on Instagram, please do. But if you take these opportunities and these small things, there's a book called Atomic Habits, talks about how do you create these micro habits which does something marginally better every day, every week, every month, and over a long period of time makes you way better. So everybody who spends, let's say, more than 2 hours on Instagram, if they say, नहीं, उसमें से ना 15 मिनट निकाल के, I will go to LinkedIn, I am following this set of people, मैं data science में हूँ, I will follow these great data science guys, and whatever they are posting, those 15 minutes, I will read those. बस इतना ही. If you can somehow build that habit, over a period of 1 year, you would have spent enormous amount of time reading about data science. That puts you like beyond 99% of the people, I can bet. So small things matter. That learning is coming from others. Of course, you have to spend your time, and there's no choice there. But it is coming from somebody else has done the research, somebody else has done the writing part of it, somebody else has curated and said, yeah, LinkedIn पे अच्छा है, सब लोग पढ़ रहे हैं, must be good. LinkedIn has done the work for you to surface it to you. You have to do this. Only part is you have to study, but you are learning from others. Please make sure that you have a list of things that you are doing where you can check this box. Yes, I am learning from others. Right? Because you cannot get ahead if all you can do is मैं अपने से करूँगा, I will learn from my own experiences, I will go read a book and therefore I will learn. You don't have enough time for that because there are so many other things that you have to learn. Right? So please focus on that. Again, get ideas from others. There are lots of things people are doing. Just LinkedIn pay, one of the advantages of being on LinkedIn is you will find all kinds of professional experiences there. Right? So use LinkedIn from that perspective, not from the perspective of यार Inspiria में मुझे लोगों ने बोला था कि वहाँ पे प्रोफाइल होना चाहिए तो जब जॉब ढूंढने जाएंगे ना तो वहाँ पे काम आएगा because everybody looks at a LinkedIn profile. Do not look at it that way. LinkedIn is your gateway into professional world. What can you learn about it right now? right, is very important. Right? Which comes back in a way is to this point that I have tried to make to lots of people, and the typical response I get, so the point I make is believe in yourself. And typical response I get, yeah, of course. But the problem is believing in yourself can happen through your unauthentic self. Yeah, it's good, it's all good. Right? Your authentic self has to say, yes, I believe in myself. And that comes from lots of other things that can happen. For example, the one way you can believe in yourself is when you are confident about certain things. You may be confident about your abilities. You may be confident about your experiences. You may be confident about what all things you have read, you have learned, whatever. Or you have solved a big problem. Right. Now, some of you may be people who have been probably helping your parents in business or kuch aur hua was there. Right? You have solved some problems, you have done something. That should give you confidence. Belief comes from that confidence. So if you don't have some confidence behind you, you will not believe. So you have to ask that question. Can I believe myself? And where is it required? It is required when you get into a situation, your manager, for example, your manager will say, क्या बकवास काम किया तुमने, तुमसे नहीं हो पाएगा, go away. You are fired. And it's very easy to say, यार ये बंदा बोल रहा है कि I am not useful, not good for anything. What do I do? My life is gone. That is the time where you have to believe in yourself. To say, in this context, in this situation, this person judges me to say that this work was not done to the level that they expected. That is all they are saying. Now, how they are reacting is their problem. Somebody will get upset. Somebody will make you sit down and explain to you and help you learn. Well, right? But that is all you read from there. You do not read from there that, okay, I am not worth their while. I am not useful. You don't read those things from there. But that can happen only when you have your own confidence. Ki bhai, I know stuff. It's just that in this situation something went wrong, I couldn't do it. That's fine, I agree. But fundamentally, I know it. And if somebody thinks otherwise, they are wrong. Of course, that doesn't mean you become arrogant and say, jo kuch bhi bol raha hai, sab galat hai. Not that. That is still a data for you to reflect and evaluate, but not just take it on face value just because my manager is saying, or even my parents are saying, kya kuch nahi kar raha. Doesn't mean I'll take it. So, you need to have that confidence to go back to. And if you don't have it, you will not believe yourself. So, college actually is the place where you do certain things where you can build those sort of rack of confidence stuff. When you are in trouble, you go to that rack. And say, अच्छा वहाँ से मैं अपना निकाल के लाता, अच्छा मैंने वो किया था और वो कर सकता हूँ तो ये तो कर ही सकता हूँ यार. That brings that confidence. So look through your cupboard, mental cupboard. कि कहाँ पे क्या रखा हुआ है, what are the things I have kept, and if you don't have enough of those things to draw, go build them. College is the place to build those stuff. Right? So that's the meaning of believing. Because it's easy to say, I do it. Right? This is another aspect, which again, our society, our parents, our friends, everybody drills into you. Competition. Right? If you are from science background and if you gave the JEE exam, you know what competition means. Right? You would have heard newspaper and NEET. A huge number of people come in for a very small set of in this case positions in colleges, and they do random stuff. They do some exam, ठीक है यार exam में तुमने कुछ किया, as if that is a predictor of your quality that is there, which is not. Right? But you get told every time that competing with others is the name of the game. Career is about how do you compare with somebody else and then do something. अच्छा आपका बिल्डिंग में 2 मंजिला है, दूसरे का 3 मंजिला है, that guy is better. That becomes the social norm, and that's actually that will kill you. For example, I can give you my experience. I graduated from IIT Delhi. Now, at the time when I graduated from IIT Delhi, if I compare with my peers, I am probably the poorest guy. I stayed in India, नहीं जाना मुझे, जाके वापस आ गया, all kind of way. If I compare myself with my peer group, you will all go mad. or I'll start doing something random which I will not like, which doesn't help me. Right? Because my definition now, somebody said happiness, my definition of success is happiness and impact. What impact I am creating for people as direct as I can. For example, this is a direct impact. Whether you do something or not is different, but I am trying to impact you right now. Versus I write a software for Zenoti which goes to somebody, which will do something, will cut a hair somebody, that guy will feel good. So I created impact through very, very indirect, this is much direct, and they feel good about it. Yeah, I feel good about it. Right. Now, I will have to compromise on that. If I have to go and say, you know what, मेरे बैच के ना 20% लोग तो CEO है US में. So of course your stock is this much, go fat, how do I go there? What do I do? And then I just have to leave some of these things. Happiness may go for a toss. My impact thing may go for a toss. But since I believe so strongly in those goals that I have, well, fine, this is my choice, this is my thing to do. I have made those decisions. Therefore, I don't regret. If I had to regret, I should have regretted like 10 years ago, and I should have taken a different path. But some of my batchmates have done that. Okay, first 10 years they'll be idealistic, ये करना है, वो करना है, वो करना है. They'll go to US, अच्छा मैं 2 साल में वापस आ जाऊंगा. So 2 साल becomes 4 years, then becomes 6 years. They keep saying, okay, I'll come back, they never come back. That's the worst state to be, because you're not sure what you're doing, you're just copying somebody else. Versus saying, hey, this is what I'm doing, I'll go ahead and do it. Right. So it's very, very important for you to say, I am not competing with others. Because again, in that 50-year game, आप किसके साथ compete कर रहे हो, that keeps changing. Right? You don't compete always with your batchmates. आप उनके साथ you are sitting here, कल को you join a company in Malaysia, there will be another set of people you are competing with. Right? You go somewhere else, you go start doing your blogging and you start making money out of YouTube videos, there will be another set of people you compete. Right? So there is no end to that. What is more tractable and which actually yields dividend is when you are competing with yourself to say, okay, am I better today compared to yesterday? Or हम सेम ही है. कल भी मैं 4 घंटे फोन पे लगा हुआ था, आज भी 4 घंटे लगा हुआ. Nothing has changed from yesterday to today, so I am not competing with myself. I have to compete. I have to become the better version of me. That if I keep doing, again, atomic habits. If I can do every day, one other thing I tell when I do workshops on career is, okay, tell me, is there something that you can do, very small change, that is not too hard for you to do, which you think will have an impact every day. And invariably people find something, कुछ ना कुछ है. And then I show them कि भाई देखो, if you do every day, let's draw this trajectory. कहाँ जा रहा है? 1 साल के बाद कहाँ होगे? And they are like, wow, I have never thought. A small change, but then every day impact can take you like miles away and miles in the positive direction. If only, of course, we have this courage to do this kind of a thing. Because it's very easy to say, वो भी नहीं कर रहा, मैं भी नहीं कर रहा. It's so easy to do that, right? आपके बैच में it's all over. It's okay. Nobody is leaving your phone at home and just coming here and studying. मैं क्या करूँ? Right? Even though you couldn't do it, right? Because you're supposed to come here and study and then go back. Right. So that is the time where we compete with others and mess ourselves up. Then later on in career, same thing happens. I will compete with somebody. I will not compete with somebody who earns less than me, who has more problems than me, and feel good about भगवान ने मुझे बहुत दिया है. I am happy. We'll end up saying, अरे उस बंदे के तो 2 बार आ गए. मैं तो एक ही हूँ. Now what do I do? And then you will start miserable, and the people around you will start being miserable. Then you will say, यार मुझे ना सिलीगुड़ी में नहीं रहना, मुझे कलकत्ता जाना है. Even though maybe this was the best thing for you, then you start going in there. I mean, it just leads you somewhere where you do not want to be, because remember, it is a 50-year game, 60-year game. It is not like you 2-3-4 दिन कुछ करके हमने somehow manage कर लिया. You have to be on it, at it for a very long time. So it is very important that it is something that you really feel about. That is why it is important to compete with yourself. And again, what does it mean to compete with yourself? Only you will know. Incrementally, what can you do? Only you will know, right? You can do more, you can do less, you can do very less. You cannot do anything right now, but you can do it after 1 year. It's all you. So therefore, these are very unique things that you can do. Right? Okay, so I don't know how well I am doing on time. What's the time? 10:45. When did we start? 10. around 10ish. Okay, I don't know when we started. As long as you guys are around, I'll keep talking. Right. So I'll skip this. Again, it's the same thing. When you compete with yourself, then you don't have to prove to others. You have to prove to yourself, to your authentic self, not to your inauthentic self. Because inauthentic होता है बड़े आराम से बोल दोगे, हाँ अरे मैंने आज वहाँ पे जाके मैंने एक ब्लॉग पोस्ट किया. That's a learning. I did something new. You know inside you, your authentic self knows यार तुमने कुछ पढ़ के 2 लाइन का कमेंट लिख दिया था उसमें, that's nothing. But you don't let that inside one come out. Your inauthentic sort of stops you. But getting to that, assuming that you have reached your authentic self, you will ask that question, am I doing what I should have done in this context? Right? For example, I'll give you a random example, not so random. I came day before yesterday, I think, day before yesterday night. Yesterday morning. I came and so I was looking at some of the data. I think last year some of you may have filled a feedback form. So I read through some of those pieces that was coming through some of those, right? So I read through some of those, try to understand लोग क्या बोल रहे हैं, कैसे बोल रहे हैं, कहाँ कर रहे हैं, क्या कर रहे हैं. And when I read through some of those things, what I realized was, I'm pretty sure a college of this size, there will be big problems. Everywhere there is a problem. No college can claim कि कैसे कुछ नहीं है. The kind of problem I was seeing there was like, you got an opportunity to tell to the college कि यार कुछ गड़बड़ है, can you fix it for me? And you are saying this. You could have said so much more. I'm not saying who was there. I don't know who was there. It was summarized. I was seeing. But the point is, are you proud of it? And when people submit these kind of surveys, they are in multiple mode. One is, यार इन लोगों का काम है सवाल पूछना, मैं कुछ करके आगे बढ़ जाऊंगा. या anyway कुछ करने वाले तो है नहीं. How does it matter? अच्छा लिखो, खराब लिखो, नहीं लिखो. I'll write something. Right? Why waste my energy? Right? Some people are there who say, ठीक है यार वो जो करें, but if I am asked to do something, I will do my best because I want to be proud of whatever I do. He said excellence. That is excellence. If I ask you to do, for example, doing this session, there are many ways of doing this session. Right? I could have just walked in and talked to you random stuff. How do you know that I could have done better? Right? You don't know. Even this also, you don't know if I could have done better than this. Right? I was up 2 a.m. last night working with Atul and doing other stuff, and then I picked up my other deck and said, kya karna, right? So I spent only a couple of hours. I could have spent more time. You can't figure it out, probably. Or maybe you can figure it out. I can definitely figure it out. I have to justify to myself, I have to prove to myself that yes, I did the best that I could in this situation. And if I don't have that mentality, I am not going anywhere. Kahin na kahin it will catch up. Because if I am not doing the best that I am capable of, if I cannot prove to myself, कि हाँ, yeah, this was good, I am proud of it, people get it. When they club you into a banda mediocre, कोई बंदा कुछ करेगा, they will look for that guy. Because believe it or not, organizations understand, they can see this. Because it shows up in multiple ways. So career grows when you have these kind of things. And that's why competing with yourself, proving to yourself, actually in long term becomes much better thing to do compared to अच्छा वो बंदा इतना कर रहा है, वो 4 घंटे रहा ऑफिस में, टिपिकल कॉलेज ऑफिस में क्या होता है, बंदा 4 घंटे रहा है, अच्छा आई विल ऑल्सो स्टे, काम आप कुछ नहीं कर रहे हो बट आप बैठे हुए हो वहाँ पे, and you feel oh good, अच्छा मैंने भी ज़्यादा काम कर दिया. It's like you are not proving to yourself, you are not doing something to yourself. Can I do more? So keep that in mind. So when you say competing with myself, I also have to justify to myself that I am doing that and I am being the better version. Right? And hopefully I reach a point where I am the best version of myself. Right? The other piece here, it's more tactical, but many times, especially students, get into this trap of, because they are so used to somebody else making decisions. Parents आके बोलेंगे अच्छा ये जहाँ एडमिशन करा दिया तुम्हारा चले जाओ. Right? या अच्छा वहाँ से आने के लिए ना ट्रेन नहीं आना, फ्लाइट के लिए टिकट बुक करा दिया, वो उससे आ जाए. Others make decisions on your behalf. As we go forward, there are tons of decisions that are being made and you are making it. When you are not doing something, that is also a decision. Again, my favorite example. If you are continuing to use your phone for 6 hours a day, it is your decision. You may say कि यार तो मैं पहले भी कर रहा था, अभी भी कर रहा हूँ, तो there is no decision. Yes, there is a decision. There is a decision to not change the way you are using your phone after you have gone to college. That is a decision you are making. What I am asking is, understand that these are the decisions you are making because you are the one who is living with the consequence of the decision. जब दूसरा कोई decision आता है, it's very easy to blame. Right? Random example. हमारे ज़माने में आज के मुझे नहीं पता, but when I got married, that time most of the time it was arranged marriage. Right? Now things are changing. Now arranged marriage very easy. अरे यार आपने तो शादी करा दी, जो problem होगा कि parents you deal with it. When people get married on their own, they should take the responsibility. Unfortunately, they still don't take the responsibility, so there are still the same kind of problem. But the point is, you have to acknowledge, yes, this is my decision, and I will live with the consequences. If I waste all my time in college and I do not get a job, I will not say कि Inspiria ने तुम्हें job ही नहीं दिलाया. Inspiria ने बोला था कि सबको job मिलता है. What can Inspiria do? IIT also can't do that for you. Right? Because you have to do your part. You have to be the better version. You have to be the one. And so decision जो आप ले रहे हो, that you have to understand that it's my decision. I will live with the consequences. Right? मैं नहीं पढ़ रहा हूँ, but I'm living with the consequences. जॉब नहीं मिला, कोई बात नहीं है, मैं जाके मास्टर्स पढ़ाई करूँगा. उस समय मैं फोन पे टाइम नहीं वेस्ट करूँगा या जो भी आप कर रहे थे. Right? That's your decision, which is perfectly fine because you are an adult. If you have money to go pursue masters, please go ahead. Right? So that's what it means, because you have to live with the consequences. Do not look around you. It's very easy to say, there's the phrase in psychology, it's called victim mentality. It's very easy to get into the victim mentality. You say, yaar, puri duniya, sab log around, they are the ones which are out there to get me. All the problems that are happening to me is because all these other things are conspiring against me. किसी ने मुझे नोट्स नहीं दिया इसलिए मैं फेल हो गया. किसी टीचर ने मुझे ये नहीं समझाया तो इसलिए ये मार्क्स अच्छे नहीं आए. एवरीथिंग इज एक्सटर्नलाइज, कि बाहर से कुछ हो रहा है जिसके चलते प्रॉब्लम है. बट व्हेन यू स्टार्ट टर्निंग इट इन इट्स माय डिसीजन. आई डिडंट गो टू द क्लास, आई थॉट आई विल गो टू वॉच अ मूवी. ओपन हमारा ये बड़ी अच्छी मूवी है, देख लेता हूँ, क्लास तो होता रहेगा. नोट्स नहीं मिला तो इट वाज फ्रॉम दैट पॉइंट, सो देयरफॉर आई एम लिविंग विद द कॉन्सिक्वेंस. मैं फेल हो गया, तो अगली बार आई डिसाइड ओपन हैमर जाओ जरूरी है, क्लास जाओ जरूरी है. When you convert all of it, every single thing that is happening around you, you can convert it into, it was my decision. It was not somebody else. Yes?
How do we know that our decision is good for us?
Great question. Sorry. Great question. Yes. So, like any other thing, decision making is also a skill. And so you can measure कि अच्छा ये decision मेरा अच्छा है नहीं है. There are two ways of measuring that. One way of measuring that is to say कि इसका outcome कैसा हुआ. दूसरा है कि did I follow certain structure, certain way of making decision and the way was good. Right? Many times we say कि अच्छा I did something, कुछ किया मैंने और result बड़ा अच्छा हुआ. Then I say अरे बड़ा अच्छा decision था. Normal way में we think that way, but that's a wrong way of thinking. Right?
So what in career, I am asking for the career.
Same thing. Let's say you take the first job. Let's say you get 2 jobs, 2 offers. You pick one. You have to pick one. Now there are many ways in which you can pick it. Right? You can pick it कि एक सिलीगुड़ी में एक बाहर है. You can pick it कि एक का सैलरी ज़्यादा है, एक का सैलरी कम है. You can pick it यहाँ पे मैं ज़्यादा सीखूंगा, यहाँ कम सीखूंगा. एक है कि मुझे US 1000 तरीके. Right? There are different ways in which you can decide. Which way do you pick to decide is one parameter here, right? The other is to say ठीक है मैं कुछ ले लिया, पता नहीं कैसे लिया, लेकिन it turns out कि यार this was an amazing choice that I made. ये कंपनी बड़ी अच्छी थी. Right? There are 2 things here. One, the right way of making decision, and the other is result जो आया, that result was good for me or not. I'm saying in career, like any other places, you will very rarely be able to say कि इसका रिजल्ट अच्छा होगा या नहीं होगा. बाद में पता चलेगा, तब तक तो डिसीजन लेना है. And you will not know. Therefore,
That means we have to take a risk for that.
Yes, life is a risk in case nobody told you. It is a risk. जैसे ही आप adult हुए, unfortunately, you have now reached a point where you will take those risks. And you will live those with the consequences of the risk. That doesn't mean that you don't take any risk. You don't take any risk, आपको वहाँ नहीं बैठना चाहिए because there is a fan here, it will fall on you. Right? So you cannot do anything. So you are taking risk. Right? So how do you take the risk? In what way do you do the process of decision? That's what I'm saying. Decision making is a skill. Like other skills, you have to learn that skill. And when you learn that skill, of course, you have to learn it by practicing, and there are ways in which you decide. And as I said, one way is to say, okay, what are the parameters? For example, if your success definition was, I want to make lots of money, and from there you figured out some way. Okay, that means making lots of money means the first job that I will take should give me as much money as I can. That is your decision framework. Based on that, you made a decision. Now, it may turn out to be right, it may turn out to be wrong. If it turns out to be right, fine, we'll continue doing that. It turns out wrong, we should look at it. Achha, was the framework wrong or just I was unlucky? You need to continue to look through your decisions and learn through. Lots of skills happen that way. And therefore you will evolve your own decision-making framework. And therefore you will see different people make. Some people will traditionally be lots of risk takers. Some will be very conservative. Right? So that is their framework of decision making has evolved to a point where they do certain things, they don't do certain things, and they will always make decision that way. Right? And then of course you look at the result and use that data, but that's just a data. You can't say कि decision अच्छा हो गया because मेरा process अच्छा था. हो सकता है कि it may be just luck. Right? So it is a constant process. Career में you make decisions, some will go right, some will go wrong. In fact, if all of your decisions are going right, something is wrong. It should not go right. It's almost like saying कि if I keep touching, let's say I can't see, I have to reach the boundary to know कि ये room कितना बड़ा है. If you close my eyes and say कि ये room कितना बड़ा है, I can say इतना बड़ा है. If I don't move, I will not be able to say कितना बड़ा है, but there is always a chance I'll go hit the wall. But unless I hit the wall, in which case I may fall, all kinds of bad things can happen, but that's a risk I take to get to a right answer. It's the same thing in life and career everywhere. You have to make decisions where some decisions will go wrong. Because if they are not going wrong, you are probably being too conservative and you are leaving lots of things on the table. You could have done more. You could have done better. But you didn't do because you are too conservative. But again, that's a life choice. Lots of people make life choices. मेरे लिए ये ठीक है. My room इतना बड़ा ही है. इसी room में मैं रहूँगा. I will not go there. Fine, that's your choice. As long as you know that is my choice, I am living with the consequence of the choice कि I am living in a small room. Perfectly fine. Don't let anybody else tell you कि नहीं यार room बहुत बड़ा है. Why don't you move around? That's your choice. Right? Okay. As I said, the other thing that will happen once you discover your authentic self, colleges, companies, enough things will happen because of which you will start losing your authentic self all over again, even if you have discovered it. पहले तो discover करना मुश्किल है वैसे, but once you discover it, you may lose because there are all these forces coming and dragging you in different directions as soon as you go into your life outside campus. Right? So you have to stay there. Now how do you stay there is $1 million question. Again, same thing happens. Somebody will come and say, yaar, if you do this, your salary will go up 10 times. But तुम्हें ये करना पड़ेगा. Ethically doubtful है. Will you do it? Will you not do it? Those are the kind of decisions you will make. Some may turn out to be right, some may turn out to be wrong, but you have to be careful about, okay, am I taking the decision the right way? Is it okay for me to make an ethical decision which takes me into a direction which is not completely ethical? Right? I don't know how many of you have heard of McKinsey as a company. McKinsey had a head called Rajat Gupta, who was the head of McKinsey. He was the first Indian to be the head of McKinsey, and then a great guy. Right? And then I think 5, 6 years ago, 8 years ago, he was caught in some very minor problem. He told one of his friends about some deal that was going to happen because McKinsey was part of that, and that guy did insider trading. There was something called insider trading that you, based on some private knowledge, you buy stock knowing that it will go up. So it's, legally it is a wrong thing to do. And then you got into jail and all. McKinsey head, everybody knows you, and now you're in jail for 2 years.
problem messed up your life? What decision-making process did we use because of which he said, yeah, it's okay to tell my friend about this? It's a foolish decision to me. So, decisions can become wrong. Right? But the important thing is to make those decisions and stay with your authentic self, because ultimately उस 8 साल के लिए that is what is going to take you forward. Right? And as I said, be the best. Because very incremental atomic habit every day, every week, whatever thing is there, is what is going to take you forward. And you reach a point where you can claim, yes, at least for this particular ecosystem that I am in, it's the best that I can be. Then of course, ideally then you should move. Right? For example, I was doing something, first 6 years, 8 years, I was a hardcore developer doing stuff. Then I said, oh, let me go into something else. Then I became a product manager. Then I said, okay, let me go something else. Then I started doing software QA. Then I said, okay, कुछ और करते हैं. So then I became some, and you keep changing, you keep giving different challenges to yourself because you think that is how you grow, but that is again career philosophy. Right? Other thing is involved journey. Many times we get so enamored by, अच्छा 4 साल के बाद I will get promoted to senior lead, then my salary will go up, and then I will go to Malaysia and then enjoy, have a vacation. Not going to happen. Because as soon as you reach that point, you will see कि 5 साल और काम करने के बाद I will become a principal software engineer and I can go to US and have a 1 month vacation. तब 4 साल और काम करोगे. When you reach that point, then you, अरे यहाँ से ना सिर्फ 5 साल के बाद तो I will get citizenship of US, उसके बाद तो life is set. And फिर 5 साल और काम करोगे, and this is बीच में 15 साल चले गए. You have wasted your 15 years. Be careful, especially when you become successful. And I really wish success to all of you, because all of you will be successful. Success brings this, especially the success as defined by others, not your definition. Others' definition of success, paisa, bangla, gaadi, ye, wo. That definition takes you in this key, I will enjoy at the end of the journey. End of the journey never comes. So learn to enjoy the path. Because work, life, career के बीच में ही life is going on. You cannot wait for that, because it's to be sustainable 60-year journey, 50-year journey. You cannot do by just being focused on ये करूँगा फिर ये करूँगा ये करूँगा. You are so focused on the ground, you fail to see the beauty around you. You fail to see metaphorically beauty around you, but you fail to see कि यार interesting things हो रही हैं. I want to do something for my society. एक NGO है, वहाँ जाके मैं 1 घंटे अगर पढ़ा दूँ, तो I will create a huge impact, and I like to create impact, but I'm so busy doing this that I can't do it. That's a wrong thing to do. If that is what you think you wanted to do, go spend that 1 hour. Don't wait for 5 साल के बाद मैं तो रिटायर कर जाऊँगा, उसके बाद मेरे पास टाइम होगा. Never happens. So enjoy the journey. It's very, very important. We don't do that. So one thing that I would like you to walk away with, even if you forget everything else, is this line. And I love this line. And I hope you understand what this means. Well, every time there will be a choice that you will exercise. There is always an easy path and a hard path. Please, at least for next 10-15 years, please try to take the hard path. That gives you whatever you call as easy life. There is nothing called easy life. You will realize as soon as you get out of college, you will realize that life is not easy. But whatever ease could mean for you, that happens only when you make such choices which are hard. For example, I'm assuming, I don't know how the college is operating here, but there will be electives. Possibly 1 or 2 elective which honge. There is always this thing of, okay, which elective, which course gets you more score, jahan pe kaam. In a game, how do you know whether you will win or not? Nobody knows. And if you are playing sport here, you will know. It depends on how the other guy is playing. Ultimately what you, so then what is success? Is success, if you won, it is success. If you didn't win, it is a loss. It's a failure? No. Because if you define it that way, you play with easy team, you will feel good. अरे यार सही है, मैं बहुत अच्छा success है. It doesn't matter. Success is, did you give the best that you are capable of? You may still lose. Or you may win, but you didn't give your best. So this coach was known for, he will like catch hold of his team and just shout at them in games which they have won big time because they didn't play their best. 4 goals से जीत गए, but can I do it like 20 goals? That is doing your best at every time. That is success for you. And that comes again from, okay, you are competing with yourself. You are not competing with the team that you are playing with. It so happens that your best was better than that guy's average or best, whatever they give. And so you won. Your best may be less than what that guy's average or best was. You lost. But that's an outcome of something else. That is the outcome of who you are playing with. Right? So, if you keep this definition with you, it gives you that mental peace in the long term. Right? But in short term, what this means is, can you focus on yourself? Or you always will focus on a choice बंदे का grade A आ गया, मेरा तो B आ गया, पता नहीं क्या हुआ. Right? You should look at, oh, why did I get B? What should I have done so that I could have gotten A? Forget about everybody else got A. But what could I have done? That is the right question to ask. Right? So the more you will do it, the more longer term success you will get to. Right? So anyway, so lots of these things are sort of keeping in mind. That's the philosophy of career. Right? So if you come to present, okay, what is it that I can do today? You're asking, यार 1 घंटे से बकवास हो रहा है, चल क्या रहा है, मतलब what can I do today? Is there something I can do today? Or I am already doomed because मुझे 5 साल पहले करना चाहिए था. So there are lots of things you can do today. So again, some of these words may be familiar if you have walked the employability wall and you have seen that. So I was working with Atul long time back when Inspiria was getting conceptualized and we defined some of those things. So when I was trying to put this slide, I realized that actually this is very relevant even now. Right? So I thought I'll put it. There's slightly some changes as I have talked to more students and talked to them and I sort of tweaked it. But these are some of the things which actually define who you are. Right? These are not hard skill and that's hard by not in learning time. It's like a different kind of domain skill. These are people, things. This is who you are. For example, excellence. There are people who will always want to do the best they can do, which is excellence. Some will say, अभी जो काम हो रहा है, जितना करने से minimum काम करने से चल जाएगा, वो I will do it. Right? This is who you are. That is excellence. Self-belief. Some people have that belief in themselves. Right? When I said believe in yourself, some people will not have. Right. Similarly, self-awareness. Do I have awareness about myself, that authentic thing? Right. Again, these become who you are. And therefore, what I mean by this is, this you will have to take responsibility for. Nobody is coming in and teaching you how to be positive. Only you can do it if you realize, even if I don't pick all 6, let me pick 3 of these and make myself like that. I will be a perseverant guy. I will keep doing. I will not say कि यार मेरे से नहीं हो रहा इसलिए मैं रुक जाऊंगा. That's perseverance. Right? You keep doing it till you get to what you want. Right? So pick some of these. If all of them, great. But these are lifelong skills. You will not be able to say that I'm done. I'm done. No, you're not, never done. It will always be, okay, more of it, and it will show up in action. Am I positive? It will show up. I can be more positive. But it will show up. When I go in a conversation, do you start from, ये टूटा हुआ, ये नहीं हो रहा, वो नहीं हो रहा, or you start from, ये बहुत अच्छा है, लेकिन इसमें ये कर रहे थे ना, तो amazing हो जाता. That's the positivity. Right? You see positive aspect of things. Right? So, this is a journey. These are the things only you can do and it is going to take your lifetime. And these are the ones which actually start in school. The more you do in school, it will be slightly easier. The more you can do in college, it will be easier. Because otherwise क्या होता है कि आप 2 साल, 4 साल, 5 साल के बाद corporate life या किसी भी job में you are there, one of these will hit you. And it will stop your career growth. Because all of them are required. These kind of people are the ones who become long-term successful in career. Whatever definition you have, whether it is happiness, whether it is huge amount of money, whether it is excellence, whatever definition you use, long-term success के लिए you will need many of these things. So you have to start building these skills right now. And you pick your own, right? You don't need to pick everything. You will say, okay, independent. Am I independent today?
Maybe you are, maybe you are not. What does it mean to be independent, right? You'll start figuring out. You'll talk to your mentor, your professor, whosoever, and you get their help. But create that portfolio of things. That इसमें मुझे अच्छा होना है, and then I'll do it. And then there are these, what do I call, hard skills. Hard money, not again in terms of learnability, but in terms of specific skill-based training or coaching or can actually make you better at these. So in a way, these are easier to learn compared to those. These are still harder to learn compared to what you are learning. For example, you are doing hotel management, और उसमें culinary art कुछ है, उसमें सीखना है. Those are skills are still easier to learn compared to these, because again, these will also take you lifetime, but these are easier to learn than the previous ones. And so therefore, this also has to start early. And again, the more you can pick up from this set, better it is. But let's say you pick two of these. Let's say you say, okay, fine, I want to be a master communicator and an innovative problem solver. Let me focus on this. Then you go figure out, क्या करना है इसके लिए? How do I become a great communicator? Right? And then you go online. Again, mentorship. Somebody had mentioned there is some mentor-mentee thing that is there. But if it is there, please leverage it. Those are the best ways in which you can learn or you can figure out how to learn certain things. But pick these. So pick some from the previous slide. Pick some from this slide. Create a portfolio of this is what I want to be good at. Inspiriability, bunch of stuff, वो सब चीजें आपके कोर्स में जो है वो सब आ रही होंगी, because these are not in the course. There are some soft skills stuff that is going on, but this ultimately is your responsibility. And if you don't do good job on these two, I can bet that your career is not going to be where it can be. Your own capability will be sort of not fulfilled. So please focus on this. Create your own list, right? And then when you are looking at building a career plan, and again, so now I am coming to something which is more sort of tactical. Right? So to plan. Now how do you plan? Right? What do I do? So right now it's easy. आपके पढ़ो, fine, you will 3 years, 1 year, 2 years, you will get out, you will go get a job. Right? Then what? What kind of job do you get? Some of those should be determined by some of the questions here. So for example, the first one. Discovering yourself. I started out with that, right? Okay, do we know ourselves? What does it mean? These are the 3 areas that you should be looking at. Right? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are my interests? And again, so for example, I am interested in photography, I have no skill, but I am very interested. It's good to know that. Right? You list it down. ये मेरे interest. Interest can be like 5, 10, बहुत सारे हो सकते हैं. Right? Then there are passion areas. You may have lots of interest, but there are some things that you get passionate about. इसके बारे में जब भी बात होती है, whenever we talk about that topic, it just becomes, man, I keep talking to you. But for me, that is education. Right? For the last 15 years, whenever I have had the opportunity of talk about education or do something, I get very passionate. So I know education, teaching is my passion area. Interest, tons of interest, right? Or I like to write, I like to read, I do all kinds of things, right? But it's the passion area out there, right? Knowing that. Similarly, likes. What do I like? And what am I good at? Right? So it's possible that maybe you're good at something, but you don't like it. Right? I am good at Excel, I don't like to do stuff in Excel. Right? So it could be any of those things. But important thing is ask questions in these areas. Of course, identify opportunities, which is what college should be good at. Should tell you कि आगे क्या क्या चीजें possible हैं. आप अगर ये पढ़ रहे हो तो ये हो सकता है. So that is what is out there. But then you have to define, and of course your definition of success is already there. You have to match this with this. Because opportunities may be, as I gave example, opportunity could be that I can join as a chef or something at one of these hotels, or it could be I can become a blog writer about photography or food, something, right? Whatever. Now, which one will you pick actually comes from here. Because you draw this, essentially it is a portfolio. Right? Who you are. Right? This will tell you, yeah, I am so good at these kind of things, not so good at these kind of things, I love these kind of things, and if you just put it all together, it seems like it will be a shame if I just go sit in a kitchen and do stuff. I should be out there talking to people. I should be going to places and take pictures. I mean, that will tell you. And that should go into your plan. Right? And then of course,
The reality is, you may have a plan, you are not able to execute on that plan, which is okay. You may have a plan to become a photographer who does food blogging and this and that, but you may not get that opportunity. It's possible, right? The first job you have to mila, I have to take that job, I'll take it. But if you have that plan, you will always be on the lookout for that opportunity because you know it aligns with your strength, it aligns with your passion and so on. That is the reason why you need to do this exercise, even though your first job may not be that. Right? So, very important. I'll skip this and I'll leave this slide with you. And I think I'm way over time, and I will leave some time for questions. So this again you can read. I'll share the slide, and or somebody will share. I don't know how to share with you. But these are again very, very practical stuff. You can read and understand. But the point is, if you can have your own philosophy of how do I want to manage my career for next 50, 60 years. It's a really, really long term that we are talking about. So therefore you cannot talk about कि यार मेरे ये सीखना है. We can only talk about कि do I know how to learn better? Do I know how to look for what is right for me? Do I know how do I learn more about myself? Do I know which area I need to make myself better in? Those are the questions that you can ask and answer. You can also ask and answer, okay, what is success for me? What is career for me? What is life for me? What are the trade-offs that are important for me? The more you will understand these aspects, you will be in a much better position to do one thing which you have to do right now, which is, आप क्लास जा रहे हो, कुछ सीख रहे हो, जो है वो है, right? Whatever you are learning, great if you are learning, great if you are not learning. There are lots of other things, all the things that I talked about will not be taught in class. You have to take that responsibility. And you can take that responsibility only when you acknowledge the fact that you are an adult. This is the time given to you by whosoever. Somebody is paying for this time. Your parents most likely are paying for this time that is there. Are you going to waste that time and not do any of these things and just do whatever Inspiria is giving you? Or you will take control and do a lot more other things based on what comes out of this for your own career and then use that time. Right? Somebody figures out, मुझे ना photography में बड़ा interest है, but I'm not good at it. Can you take this time to learn photography? This is a great time to learn photography. College में is a good time. There may be people around who are interested. There is a media course that is there. You can go and sit in some of the classes. There are so many opportunities to learn if you know that that is what you want to do. But उसके लिए you have to do all the things that we have been talking about. Right? So, yeah, this is a summary of what I talked about. I'll leave it here. Questions? I didn't let you ask questions, yes. Yes, so the question is, okay, so how do you deal with rejections and disappointments? And as you said, you will get better at it after a while. That's again part and parcel of life. But again, the way to deal with is to again go back, go inside. When you believe in yourself, rejection, see many times what happens is you take rejection very seriously because you start feeling that something is there which is missing in me. Then it starts becoming personal. Whereas a rejection is just, okay, there is a state where somebody thought otherwise, I think something else. I applied to a job, they didn't give me the job. I thought I'm suitable, they think I'm not. It's their opinion. But I know that I feel I'm suitable. Right? So once you start detaching, and that detachment can happen only when you have that faith in yourself. That yes, I have done the things that I need to do. I did my best. I continue to do my best. I keep proving to myself that I am good. I have that belief in me. I have that cupboard full of confidence building stuff that I can pick and say, yeah, I have done this. Of course I can do this job. The more you will have those, but again, that also comes as you go through the life because you will not have lots of them initially. So it's a chicken and egg. You have to go through some of these rejections and disappointments. It's almost like battle wounds. आप अगर लड़ने जाओगे तो there will be these wounds, and if you don't have wounds, most likely you haven't fought well. So take the wounds, but be very clear that wounds are just external things. Internally you need to have that confidence. If you don't have the confidence, don't go to the war. First prepare. This is the time for preparation. 3 years here is the preparation time.
And what I'm asking is these other pieces which college classes will not teach you, if you do some of these kind of things better, you are better prepared. But they will come. Yeah.
So how do you define yourself? Like you said, that you can't define by a career. So how do you define yourself?
Yeah, so my definition of how do you define yourself is, when I said strengths, weakness, interests, passion areas, like, excellence. These 6 things, when I look at myself, I should be able to sort of, in a way, list down things about myself, right? I'm good at this, I'm great at this, I can do this, I cannot do this. So it gives me sort of a profile of me. Who am I should come from that set. Not from the job I'm doing, not from the study that I'm doing, not from anything else. Right? For example, if you look at my LinkedIn profile, I do have, I am a research scholar. I don't say I'm a student at IIIT. Right? I say I'm a systems thinker. Because I feel that that is what I associate myself with. Right? So that comes from my analysis of myself to say this is what I am. And the reason why you want to do this exercise and then come out with it is that because then you can be sort of confident about that statement. Right? I am an employee of Zenoti, for example. Now I'm not, I'm a sort of a, I am an employee of Zenoti, I am somewhere in the middle. So that kind of identity will keep going away. Right? But this stays with you. Right? So that's how you define it. That's how I define myself. Right? Okay. Teacher, backbenchers, please. Anyone? Okay. This is not a classroom, otherwise I would have asked, please stand up and ask question. So I don't want to do that. But other question. Anybody who has doubt about कि क्या चल रहा था and I can't apply any of these things? Yes.
So I think success is very subjective. It's finding time everyone is needing. So you have so much experience in the industry. At what point do you stop and you think, yeah, I have enough now, I am successful?
So I'm assuming that you mean, so basically you said greedy.
Yeah, and everyone just wants more. Like, you are never truly 100% successful.
Yes, so that's correct, and I'm glad that you raised it, because that's the reality, and many of you will have that in your mind, yeah, ये सब तो है, सब है, बहुत बढ़िया चीज़ है. Actually, I have to get a nice job and get lots of money, and I want to do all those things which I couldn't do. Right? So, which is again a fair point to start. What you will realize, and I can tell you from my experience and my peers' experience, and any of you, if you read books, I can recommend lots of good books to read which talks about some of these aspects, that when you start chasing things, for example, you can chase money, you can chase fame, this becomes a never-ending chase. So when you say, okay, fine, at which point do you realize, actually there may not be any such point. You will have to stop yourself. You will have to say, okay, I will stop chasing. Now you do different. Some people will stop chasing because they fall ill, something bad happens to them and they just stop chasing. Or divorce ho gaya, bacche bhag gaye, all kinds of things can happen. So sometimes people stop there. But people will stop chasing. That's the only way. Otherwise, you can continue to chase. The huge amount of money, there is a never-ending chase for that. Fame, never-ending chase for that. So these are all never-ending chases. So it's very easy to go there, but there is enough literature, enough experiences that people share, and hopefully people themselves, if they keep asking that question to themselves, will see after a while, 5 saal baad, 10 saal baad, 15 saal baad, I am chasing, I am losing good things in life. I can't spend time with my family and it is important for me. I can't spend time in writing, which is important for me. Whatever is important for you, I am not spending time on that. And that is the point where if you are authentic to yourself, you will say, yaar, you chase now, it's not getting me, maybe bank balance बढ़ रहा है, but anyway I am not using that money. Because see, the problem with money, somebody, you also said greedy, but somebody also said, yeah, money is always good. But what you realize is once you have a certain amount of money, after that it actually sits in the bank. It doesn't do anything good to anybody. So even though we keep saying, yaar paisa chahiye, paisa chahiye, paisa chahiye, it doesn't do any good. So therefore you need that amount, and that amount can be different for different people based on their needs. So there is something called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I don't know how many of you have heard of it. Right? So if you look at it, that roti kapda makan jo first level of hierarchy mein hai,
that everybody has to cross. If you haven't crossed that, all the other thing about quality of life, or I keep doing these sessions to people and I keep saying, yeah, you have a choice of job, take which will teach you more. But if I can't get my job which can get me money to have a decent food, forget about all those things. So you will go on that hierarchy of things. Right? So, but there will be that point where you make a choice, कि hierarchy के हिसाब से, if you are talking to your authentic self, but as I said, it will get lost. Question will come, कि I have a choice, कि यार अब मैं stop कर सकता हूँ. Should I stop? But this allure of money is so strong because of the society. Because society sees it and says, wow, यार इस बंदे के पास ना 4 गाड़ियाँ हैं, या इस बंदे ने ये कर दिया. So that allure becomes so strong that even if you want to stop, you will not stop. And therefore you continue. And if you continue, there will be a point where you may still figure it out. The problem is it may be too late. So there is no, again, my point cannot be your point. I may have stopped at certain point in time, you may take more, you may take less, you may be smart and learn from my mistakes and do it early, whatever it is, but it ultimately becomes chase. That's why people say, okay, read Gita, read, and these philosophical texts all talk about the same thing. Mithya, jo hai, Maya, jo hai. It's all those things, but yeah, we don't realize it. Okay, last question.
How do you define retirement?
How do you define? Retirement. Okay, so I'll give you my personal view. Again, my personal view, there's nothing called retirement. I don't know who defined that retirement word. Maybe government defined retirement word because they thought they could define what people do with their life. But otherwise, there's no retirement, right? Ultimately, you are living a life, right? You need, again, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. First you need food and shelter and clothing, then you need relationship, association, you need quality of life, you need fulfillment of life. You continue doing all those things. Some things you can only do with money, some things you can only do with a job, some things you can only do through other people. Whatever is required, you keep doing. And if your health permits, you keep doing whatever you are continuing to do. Retirement means an artificial point where you will stop working. Now, the question is, what is work? If you define your career definition well, success definition well, career and life balance well, there is nothing called work. What is work? If you look at me, I can keep doing these kind of sessions for the next 50 years. And I will not tire. Of course, I will fall dead one day, but I will not tire of this process. So I don't call it work. मेरे लिए तो busy life. If I don't do this, I may be in a state where I can actually become like, I can't move. Because जो thrill मुझे मिलता है when somebody asks a question or I say something, I'm not getting it. So retirement is a false dichotomy कि अच्छा एक point आएगा जिसके बाद you will not work, एक point है उसके पहले you keep working. I don't think in a modern economy there is any such thing. Life should happen before that, after that. Work should happen before that, after that. Ideal will be when you can't say which one is work, which one is life. Really the cherished career goal is, you can't say which one is career, which one is life. Which one is work, which one is life. Right? So at least my view, that's my personal view. Again, people can define their own. Lots of people say, 40 years ke baad I want to retire. And then they get, now what do I do? They'll again go do something else, but that's also working. Right? Okay, thanks everybody. This was great. I have no idea how much time I took, but okay. So hopefully this was useful. And now as an individual, as you may have noticed, I am very passionate about two things, education and career. So therefore, if any of you want to reach out, talk to me about specific question that you have which you probably thought, I will not ask, or I don't have the question later on, feel free to reach out to me. Feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, connect with me. Please say why you are connecting so that I know, because I normally do not accept any connection requests unless I know the person. But in this case, probably I know you because you are sitting here, but I will probably not recognize you. So please send out, feel free to connect, feel free to not connect, there is no pressure, right? But yeah, definitely leverage me. I would love to have conversations with you. Okay, thanks.